All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show. I'm your host Murph, and thanks for joining us on this nice sunny Midwestern day. Got a lot of news, a lot of interesting news today. We've got some reunion possibilities coming up with a couple of bands. Roger Waters, of course, he can't keep his gnarly nose out of the news. We talked about him and little Marilyn Manson. Got an interesting movie coming up, I gotta say. Oh, geez, all sorts of stage diving incidents and just this and that and the other. And by golly, thanks for joining us. And of course, I can't do it without my co-host there over there on the other side of town there, Doc Box. What's hanging, Doc?
Doing all right, doing all right. Yeah, ready for a whole nother week of rock news that we've stories we've assembled that we hope you find interesting. And as you know, we do this each and every week. So yeah, let's not delay. Let's jump right into it. Yeah, a couple very strongly rumored reunions.
Very interesting. The first one up is one classic band. There they are, the Talking Heads. Wow, how about that? Now, of course, they've had they got together. What was it, last year or the year before? For to celebrate the anniversary of their moving, correct?
Yeah, last year they up in Toronto they had a screening at one of the film festivals of their concert movie Stop Making Sense. And as part of that, they got the four of them got together, and that was like the first time they've been together in however many years, and made a big ballyhoo about it. And it was just a Q&A kind of thing. It wasn't anything beyond that. But we talked about it, and hey, this could possibly spark something. And along the way, there's been other little tidbits that have popped up, but it sounded pretty ominous right now, or I should say ominous, but pretty
Yeah.
yeah, pretty the writing's on the wall, shall we say. It seems like. So yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
Yeah, well, yeah, their drummer, Chris Franz, hello, Franz, it says here Franz posted an image on his Instagram page of a black and white theater marquee with the main banner saying Talking Heads alongside December 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 8 p.m. and ticks at all Ticketron outlets. Boom. Well, right there, it's an old picture. I mean, you have
Right.
to see the picture when they say Ticketron because that's been long gone. But that got the people talking,
Well, he also.
because well,
Oh, go ahead.
it's the theater that the picture is of is the Pantages Theater, which is famously where the band recorded their live movie, Stop Making Sense, in '83, as a matter of fact. So that's getting the fans speculating. Well, and there's a lot to say here, actually. Yeah, if you got anything you want to jump in and go on.
Yeah, he Chris Franz also posted "We Shall Return." So he's posting that, and then a lot of fans are speculating that it's in conjunction with, like they did in Toronto. They're doing that in L.A. They're having a Q&A there in L.A.
Yeah.
So people are saying, well, maybe that's all of the return. But I don't know, man. To say "we shall return," that's a pretty strong tease for something along those lines. To me, that's reunion talk, man. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking it's coming, man.
Yeah, well, apparently back in the day, they didn't last too long. And basically, the other band members basically said that Burns is just a jerk off for the most part. Because they reunited in 1999 to promote the 15th anniversary reissue of the film. And then in 2022, they performed four songs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And the Tina Weymouth, she has described Burns as insecure, saying that the frontman, quote, would only often try to blame other people if things went wrong. Chris and I loved him dearly, and we did our best to overlook these disastrous character flaws, but it seemed obvious that Talking Heads wasn't going to last. So, it was a jerk off. Franz himself has says that Burns's brain is wired in such a way that he doesn't know where he ends and other people begin. he can't imagine that anyone else would be important. Whoa, shots fired, boom, boom, boom.
I could see that. Those artsy types. He's very
Yeah.
much like that. He's an art school guy, and very artsy, and he just gets in this headspace of, I don't know, where nothing else matters but the art he's working on or whatever. And I could
Well,
see that would be problematic in a band situation. So
and he
yeah,
has answered. He has responded. He basically he explained last year, as a matter of fact, that he regrets the way that Talking Heads split up and confesses that he was a quote little tyrant at the time. He also
right.
compared his current relationship to the Talking Heads bandmates like a divorce. Divorces are never easy, he told the New York Times. We all get along. It's all very cordial and whatever. It's not like we're all best friends, but everybody's very happy to see this film coming back out. So it sounds like he's sort of like softening things up there. I think you're right. I bet you we'll be seeing Talking Heads. Why not? Trying out loud. They haven't done a damn thing since that's been of note, except for
Well, yeah,
the
David Burns
whatchamacallit
had
flood.
some world music stuff going, and
But
People know Chris Franz and Tina Weymouth. They're a married couple, and they had a Tom Tom Club, so they had
Downtown
their
Club,
own
that's the one.
project.
They had that cool
But
little quirky hit that I dug it. Uh, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, they had a really cool little thing going on. But really, they could be selling out massively. It'd be a sellout tour, period. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah,
Think
Jerry
they need the
Harrison, he's
money.
had stuff. He was touring with Adrian Blue there for a while, and they had a little
Ooh,
thing going. So yeah, they've all had stuff going on, but nothing like Talking Heads, obviously. So
yeah,
yeah,
most definitely.
I think it's coming. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll see. Another rumor. Oh, I love the rumor mill. Lincoln Park. Yeah, how about that? Lincoln Park is rumored to be doing a tour. So we shall see if that comes to fruition. That would be interesting. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's kind of Jake Gordon, frontman from band Orgy. I don't know if people know them. I don't know. I remember they did a cover of New Order song, Blue Monday, a few years back. That's the only
Ah,
thing I know him from. But anyway, in an interview, he was talking like it was a matter of fact. He was just like very nonchalant. They're coming back with a female vocalist.
yeah.
And of
Oh,
course, that
wow.
got people speculating. And Amy Lee of Evanescence says it's not her. She's kind of But we
Well,
heard that with John Five too. So you never know with
yeah.
that kind of stuff. But I don't think it'd be her. But
No,
but
no.
that says that they're gonna get back out there. And
Well, what's her name?
I don't know. I don't care for them at all. I know they were very popular, and they kind of
No,
like
they had a certain formula to every song,
yeah, I didn't
where
care for them at all.
they got some guy, and this, got some guys not really singing, just making statements, and then the other guy would come in and bam, 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 just the
Yeah.
same formula of song. And I'm not complaining about it, but it was just one of my cup of tea. The music may have
No,
been
they
good, but the
sold a lot of
vocals
records. I
just sort
mean,
of.
they definitely were very popular. But
Oh yeah, and then of course the singer, I can't remember his name. Jeez.
Chester Bennington,
Yeah,
yeah, offed himself shortly after Chris Cornell. They were
yeah,
kind of,
yeah, and it
so
was all depression. They all suffered from depression. So you never know, really. Wow. But we'll see. We'll see if they come back. Wow, that'd be crazy. But crazier things have happened. So Lincoln Park. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, geez, here we go. We just can't get enough of this cat. Boy, and this one's really something. Roger Waters. We all know Roger Waters. Just tiring, you know, I don't know. And anti-Semitic, everybody, he's been called everything. Well, here's the headline of the article from NME. Roger Waters calls U2's Bono, quote, disgusting and a shit. It's like, what the hell? A subtitle. Anyone who knows Bono should go and pick him up by his ankles and shake him until he stops being an enormous shit. God, this guy's just insufferable. And he said in a new interview with Waters, and he criticized Bono for his previous comments on the Israel-Hamas war. Here we go with musicians and politics. It's just the worst thing ever. But during the one, the Bono, the U2 had that residency in the Sphere, and during one of the performances, he used a performance that pays respects to those killed during October 7th attack. At the Israeli music festival, because a lot of them were at a music festival,
Right.
and that seems reasonable enough. But oh boy, no, here we go. And he played a song for it, and then Waters has taken aim at the musician for his comments during a new interview with Al Jazeera. Well, that tells you right there. If you're doing an interview, Al Jazeera, that's not really friendly to any Western values at all or anything. I would imagine Al Jazeera is totally anti-Israel.
Yeah, I don't seem like type of journalist I'd be wanting to talk to, but Roger Waters, I guess nobody else is wanting to talk to him, so he'll take what he can get, to be heard, man. He'll go anywhere. But he's talking about Bono. He's at the Sphere and did the big on Pride in the name of love. We all know about the Martin Luther King Jr. and they changed the words, early morning, October 7th, instead of April 4, kind of changed a few other lyrics to kind of fit the occasion. And Roger Waters, that's disgusting. It's disgusting. He's just, like it's the most unbelievable. Like he couldn't believe, this. I don't know.
Wow. Well, yeah, he says, we have to start saying to these people, your opinion is so disgusting and so degrading. Sticking up for the Zionist entity. Oh boy, wow, this guy.
But you're so desperate to be heard, you'll go to Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
The bitch about Bono, it's Bono, man. He's spreading love and peace, man.
Why not go on Russian television too? Why not go on Russian television or Chinese television? Really, good grief. Oh boy. But really. And then of course he brings up that his whole quote was we have to start saying to these people, your opinion is so disgusting, so degrading, sticking up for Zionist entity. What he did a couple of weeks ago in the Sphere in Las Vegas, singing about the Stars of David, was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. In his life.
Dude,
that's
somebody
the
hold
most
a mirror up to this dude,
thing.
Man.
Yeah, look at him.
Somebody hold a mirror to this guy, man. Come on,
musicians that are in politics. It's just crazy. Back in the old days, when he had the Vietnam War, it seemed semi-righteous anyway. Idiots.
Yeah, everybody was pretty much in agreement on that one, man. It wasn't like you had sides really. Nobody was saying, yeah, we should be over there. So
boy,
that was a little different,
crazy. But... Yeah. Military industrial complex is a rolling, baby. But he just seems to he can't keep the foot out of his mouth. One thing after another with him. It just keeps going. But
I don't think it's a case of foot and mouth. I mean, he's very intentionally, this is very well thought out. I mean, I think a foot and mouth is just kind of spurting something out. But he's more, this is his beliefs and what he wants to get out there. He's he wants to get out there to the extent he will be interviewed by Al Jazeera, man. I mean, to me, that just tells how desperate he is to be heard. I mean,
he just said, well, in the past, he says about the things he said, it's indiscriminately mixed things I've allegedly to have said or done at different times and in different contexts.
Dude, how do you take that out of context?
And then the end of the sentence, in an effort to portray me as an anti-Semite without any foundation in fact. You just called it, you just called basically Zionist, geez. He's right in the thick of it. So don't try and play, a victim. Oh gosh, I didn't say it. I didn't mean that. You took it out of context, blah, 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 blah.
Well, we kind of, a little bit was earlier. I remember we were reporting, he'd made some comments. So then he drew that focus to him where people that weren't really familiar with Pink Floyd. And then when he would do the during his concerts, the part of the wall, when they had the guys in the military, people were saying, oh, that's Nazi. No, it's just part of the, so, he was a little bit of a victim of that, but it was only because he drew stuff, undue attention on himself from outside of what normally would be. And now, I guess that's kind of worn off. And like I said, nobody else will hear him. So, Hey, Al Jazeera,
Yeah.
I'll give you an interview. Okay,
Al Jazeera, cheating creepers.
okay, we'll be right there.
Or you be no, I won't do it. I won't go there, Doc.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Oh, Jiminy
Enough
Creepers.
on Roger, always in hot
Oh,
waters.
Roger. Good call. Yeah, yeah. And here's an interesting one. Well, and by the way, update. Oh, geez. I said that Marilyn Manson was going to be coming to Tinley Park. I stand corrected. I misread the article. He's only doing 3 shows right now, and one of them is at the mighty Aragon Ballroom,
Oh wow,
North Side Chicago. Been there many times. That's
yeah, that's
at my
old
age
school.
now. Yeah, well, at my age, I couldn't go. I couldn't go there at my age at this point. That's a young man's game there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, but boy, did we have fun back in the days, man. Vomit stains all over the walls and stuff. Just crazy good times. Seen a lot of good. Well, the best three-peat I saw there. I believe it was Montrose, Blue Oyster Cult, and Rush, or Montrose, Rush, and Blue Oyster Cult, or Black. I don't know. I've seen so many three-peats there. Back in the days, it cost like pennies to go see 3 major groups at the Aragon Ballroom. So Maryland's going to be there, and the problem is, he got himself in some trouble with some sexual shenanigans that I believe he was going on with one of his old girlfriends who was famous. So she was able to come out and talk about it. And now people are getting on a group that was going to open for him. So this is just crazy. Where are they? Oh, there they are right there, the handsome devils. That would be, oh gosh, I don't even know what their name is. Their name is Funeral Portrait. Funeral Portrait, yeah. And they're all bummed. They're an emo band, so that sort of blows in my book right there. Nonetheless, Funeral Portrait. They're signed to do those 3 Marilyn Manson gigs, and boy, they've been facing a whole bunch of backlash about it. And basically, what happened was the bass player came out and said, "Hey, we're playing 200-seat clubs and stuff, and we get a chance to play in front of thousands. My gosh, what? we didn't do anything to that girl, or gosh, do you remember what that story was about him and
Oh yeah, we've talked about that a few times, man.
no,
Yeah,
I
Evan
don't forget it.
Rachel
I don't even
Wood.
remember anything though. Go ahead, man.
Man, thanks for prepping for the show. Yeah, he's Evan Rachel Wood, the actress, had him some sexual allegations during the whole Me Too movement, and got some other ladies on board through possibly unscrupulous means, but there's been a whole backlash on that. So anyway, obviously, people are kind of bitching at Marilyn Manson. He's headlining. We thought maybe he would just be out there supporting somebody, but he's headlining, and people don't take too kindly to it. And of course, now this band, like you said, they're a nowhere band. They actually post-hardcore they call themselves, as an emo, but they're getting a chance to open up. Not it's not to them. It's definitely 2 or 3 notches up. I mean, definitely they're going to take the opportunity. And but all the cancel culture and everybody that thinks that they need to save everybody from themselves have deemed it that they shouldn't take this opportunity to tour with Marilyn Manson, and they're saying no, we're going to do it. So
But yeah,
I say
his
more
exact
power to them.
yeah, his exact quote. I'm sorry, my band that has consistently played 200 capacity venues for 7 years plus has a chance to open shows in front of thousands of people, and people want to be upset about it. If you truly know the people we are and you know the grind we've been on, you wouldn't be mad. If what we are doing isn't affecting your life personally, then why get mad about it? You weren't a fan before, and that's fine. No one is forcing anyone to go to these shows.
Yeah, that's the way of the world now. People can't keep their nose out of other people's. Exactly. That should be the golden rule.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect you, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, social
But
media
people,
though.
well, no, but you shouldn't see it. I'm going to stop you from seeing it because I know better than you.
Because it offends
And
me.
yes,
And if it offends me, it's got to offend everybody else because
yes,
that's how my world rules.
it should not be seen by human eyes. I've deemed such.
Yeah. Oh gosh almighty. Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is, They do the gigs. What the heck? Jeez. And they'll catch hell from their fans, but they're damned that they do and damned that they don't. Like they said, the grinder on. They probably ain't making squat. Nobody makes squat anymore. So boy, oh boy, people
Oh
like
yeah,
to
no,
do.
you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably not making anything. This is just total, an opportunity for them just to be seen and get out there a little bit. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
probably make a little more than they usually do anyway. At that and yeah.
Oh yeah, they're playing 200 seat venues, man. They're not making
Well,
anything.
if I know the Aragon Brawl Room, it'll be packed. They'll pack that place. People don't give a squat. So we'll see what happens in that respect. But nonetheless, their fans are all pissed off. Jiminy creepers. Yeah, like you said, it's social media, dude. Social media. It screwed everybody up. You know, really. Now on my Facebook feed, I'll get some of these. They call them shorts, little video shorts, and
Oh yeah,
this is stupid TikTok people doing stupid stuff just to get a view, and we're turning the young kids into a bunch of influencer wannabes. And why
yep.
don't you go out and do something actually productive?
No,
Make something. Not
it's
be.
all about look at me just because I'm here. You should look at me
Uh,
because I'm so special. And yeah, now we're sounding geezerly, but yeah, we'll take
well, it
that
is
turn from
true.
now in time. But
It
whatever.
is true. It is true. Here we go. I gotta talk. Revival 69. Now, this is a concert, music. This is a movie coming out, music documentary about a concert that rocked the world. Now, what the description it is here, and then we'll discuss further. It's a concert that rocked the world. It's a remarkable behind-the-scenes story of how a little-known but life-altering music festival came together against all odds. Young, scrappy concert promoter John Brower puts his life on the line literally to turn his failing rock and roll revival in Toronto rock and roll revival into a one-day event later coined in rock mythology as the second most important event in rock and roll history. What do you think about that, Doc? Holy schmokeums. Wow.
Yeah, this is a documentary called Revival 69, and it brought a lot of the kind of the older, the first generation of rockers combined with the temporary contemporary artists of the time. So you had artists like Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley. You can kind of see them there on the thing. Jerry Lee Lewis is there, and Little Richard, and all those kinds of folks. But then you had folks like John Lennon. You see there, and this is nothing to do with the Beatles. This was the Plastic Ono band.
Yeah,
Remember he did with Yoko, and Clapton was part of that.
he was
And
there. Yeah,
they just did covers and a couple originals, but he said nothing Beatles. There will be no Beatles
I
played.
watched it today.
So they had
The
that.
performance.
The Doors were there, but they're not part of the movie. They weren't filmed for the movie. And then a young up and coming band that a lot of people didn't know about at the time, named from Detroit, well from Phoenix, I guess at the time, Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper band. And there was a famous incident that happened there that you may have heard about, where somebody threw a chicken up on
Oh, is
stage.
that there? Oh, okay.
Somebody threw a chicken on stage, and Alice, who like you said, he's from Detroit, man. He's a city boy. What does he know? It's a bird; it can fly. So he takes it and throws it back in the audience, and you hear him tell the story. He says, "Well, it didn't fly so much as it just plummeted," and then the fan just ripped it to shreds, and there's just
Oh,
feathers and raw chicken flying everywhere and everything. So next day, of course, all the I don't know if Peter was around then, but all those types were making a big deal about it, and his buddy at the time, Frank Zappa, gave him a call. Says Alice, did this really happen? And he told him the story. Well, I didn't mean it to, I just kind of, I thought it was a chicken. I
oh
thought it would fly
no.
away, He goes, well, don't tell anybody that. That's a great story. Don't tell anybody. Just leave the
Well, make
story
a
as it
secret.
is.
Yeah, yeah. Frank told him any publicity is good publicity.
Yep,
So
yep.
don't change it. Just let it
Yeah,
roll.
it's a better
But
story. You tell people that you didn't intend for that to happen. That guy, I guess, kind of
I
takes
watched the
from it. So
performance today, Doc. I watched some the Alice Cooper performance was just horrible. Just
yeah,
terrible.
they were just starting out. This is
Yeah,
'69.
yeah,
I'm
exactly. You
surprised that
didn't
they
hear
were there. I
no
mean,
no no songs that I recognize. Well, there might have been one or two, But then Chuck Berry just kicked ass. Man,
Oh
was
yeah.
he on? Was he on? then I then I watched John Lennon, and doggone it, they got Yoko up there. And holy schmokums, wow. I don't. Clapton, good for him. He hung in there. 'Cause she started doing her freaking wailing and shit, and it's like, man, I wonder why the Beatles split up. She's the reason. This was actually, yeah, this was his first gig post Beatles. Yeah, that's why they only did covers. He didn't
Well, it
know,
was
it didn't make
'69, so this is really even before they broke up. Really, I mean, I guess
well, but this
officially
was
broke up
I think
anyway.
this
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
last gig,
yeah,
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 or his
yeah.
first gig after
After
yeah.
yeah, they were
But
done, but not officially, I guess. Yeah.
Yoko was so horrible as always. It's like, geez, whatever, so she ruined the whole thing. She probably ruined the whole damn movie. But we'll see, it's coming out as a movie and hopefully a good one. We'll see what happens.
Wonder why it took so long. I didn't see anything on that, but yeah,
Yeah, as long as it gets out there.
it's
Wait a,
nostalgia for sure.
oh man. Yeah, what we got next? Oh boy. Here's a disturbing story. These goofballs. Look at them. They should be in a lab, in a science lab at the university figuring out the next good invention or something. But no, they're a group called Trophy Eyes. And boy, oh boy, this was bound to happen. We've probably happened before, but we haven't really heard about it. So then Numbnuts goes stage diving off of the stage and ends up giving a female fan severe spinal injury. So, I mean, the bad spinal injury.
Wow.
So there you go, you big fat dope. Yeah, the incident occurred after frontman John Floriani dived into the crowd at a show in Buffalo on April 30th. Gee, many creepers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't get the stage diving. I'm always, when I first saw the headline, I was hoping it was like a Jack Black in that rock movie where he's the
School of
teacher,
Rock. Yeah.
School of Rock, where they separate and he hits the floor. I was hoping it was a singer, but no, he went out there and probably put they're Australian too. Well, that's just great, Australian. But yeah, so he dived out and ended up hurting her extremely bad, and they just shut the show down right there. He accompanied her, the singer accompanied her at the in the ambulance to the hospital. But maybe it's too late. But now I think it's time to shut down the damn stage diving. I never did really get that. That's although Iggy was probably one of the first
Oh, the
greats.
very first. He
Was
invented it.
he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I've always, it's been a nice part of shows, but is it, it's not really necessary. It is dangerous, man. I mean, now we're getting older at the time, when you're younger, you're just having a good time. You're invincible and, made of rubber. So what does it matter? But, in this case, yeah, her name was a Bird Pichet. Bird as Bird Pichet. What a cool name. And, yeah, she's at the show. This band's been around. I guess they've put out like 4 albums and they're touring on their 4th album. And, they put the band put up a GoFundMe account to pay for everything, which that's a smart move. I mean, just
Yeah.
legally too, because they're going to be held responsible. I mean, the dude is the one that jumped off. This wasn't like there was a fan at their show. This is the band that did this, so they're going to be held liable. And I guess that's a smart move to put up a GoFundMe account, but. Yeah, it's always a fun, energetic part of the show. And mosh pits are, just kind of as dangerous. And we've talked about, there's been some injury sustained in those pits too. But this sounds like way beyond any. This is like spinal energy that
They're saying it's still too early to know what her prognosis is, but after leaving the hospital, she will need to go to a rehab facility. She will obviously not be able to work.
Dude, it's gonna be a lifelong problem for her, man.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the club has insurance too, so they're gonna take a little hit too. She's gonna have to spread that liability around. But yeah, enough with the stage diving, you morons. Jeez.
I think the guys will maybe start thinking twice after seeing this. Yeah, you always think exactly. You see stage dive injury, and you always think it was the person doing the diving.
You always hope
the
anyway.
Floor. And no, but
dumbass.
But really think about it. I mean, how high up is this stage where diving onto somebody would? I mean, or maybe she's just
But you know, you
very
just hit her
petite. And I don't
wrong.
know.
It
Yeah, I
could be
guess. Yeah,
petite. You
yeah,
just
yeah,
shoulder to shoulder, shoulder, you
yeah.
know, just
Gets
yeah.
something gets
Oh.
twisted, or something like that, or yeah, just you never
Well,
know.
yeah, yeah, they definitely should have done that. Shouldn't have done that. So I hope they learned their lesson, and that's all I got to say about that. Phew. All right, moving on. Boy, oh boy, this is an interesting one. Last week we talked about the movie Let It Be, I believe it was, and Let It Be, and sure enough, over the week comes out an article in NME from David Gilmour, and he's not happy with that movie at all.
Well, Get Back.
Or to Get Back and Let It
Yeah,
Be's a new one or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, yeah. But he called it a hard watch, specifically noting that Paul was being domineering and John ducking back because of the moment he was in at the time, and George leaving and coming back. Then he added, horrible, really. I mean, it's lovely for us to watch, but I'm surprised Paul allowed it. Wow. Well, not too happy. He went on to a happy camper of the movie, man. And yeah, he said it was just sort of a good, Ringo after long periods of fuck off, sheepishly plotting out Octopus's Garden on the piano, looking up to check if anyone's listening. What about Linda and Yoko laughing in a corner, decimating 5 decades of sexist tabloid nonsense in one frame? But that's his take on it. So what do you do, man? It's
Yeah, what I kind of take from that is what he says, horrible, really, a hard watch. Surprise
yeah,
McCartney let it come out, all this. And it sounds to me from statements he's made is just kind of maybe shattered some disillusions that he had about the band. Oh, Paul was domineering. Well, maybe Paul was domineering at that point, man. I mean, and John stepping back. Well, John was stepping back at that point. That's the way that was documenting what happened. That's what it was, a
it's real
document.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just sounds like it kind of, that's not the way that in his mind that it should have been, or how he thought it should have been, or it was. And so, yeah, hard watch for him. Well, yeah, kind of, and he's a big fan. He says he watches all the rock documentaries from the 60s and 70s. He says he's a big fan. And so, yeah, it's just hard watching. I haven't seen that one. I guess I stated last week. I've seen every Beatles thing of all time, but I've never seen the Get Back and the one coming out, Let It Be. So definitely got to get my. They're all streamed, and I don't want to get 15 different streaming
Oh,
services to watch all these things.
oh,
And
that just bugs the hell out of
I
me.
know, I know. We
A
got
lot of my favorite programs are on streaming now. I think like The Simpsons, the early episodes. You got to have, I don't know, Paramount Plus or
or
something to
yeah,
be able to
Disney
watch them
Plus
or
and all these
something.
different ones. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
doggone it. Well, when the world goes to hell and all the world's internet shuts down, I still got my antenna on top, so
Right.
I'll be able to watch all the programs out of Chicago, unless of course
Still be able to watch my programs.
yeah, unless the EMP blows all them out, then it won't matter at that point. But yeah, so freaking A, it's all incredible. But I'm surprised David Gilmour would even speak up at this point. It's like, wow, what's the game?
He's
What
made a couple statements. We talked a couple of weeks ago where he talked about something else, and I don't know. He must have a project in the works where he's trying to get his
get his
name
name
back
out
out in
there?
the culture and stuff or something. I don't know.
He doesn't need to do this though. He don't need to trash on Sir Paul and the boys or Ringo anyway. Sir Paul and
Right?
Ringo. Jeez. Yeah, Ringo and his peace and love. We could use a little peace and love right now, Ringo, because boy, things are really, really gnarly. Here, speaking of gnarly, here's some gnarly, sad news. The King of Twang, man. King of Twang. Where is he? I posted him, but there he is, Duane Eddy. Woo, doggy. Yeah, 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 he was. He was the King of Twang. He started
Sure.
his big was it his first hit, Rebel Rouser? Is that his
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that was his big one? Yeah, yeah. Well, he passed away. One of the most commercially successful artists in the history of rock and roll. Died. He was 86 years old. So I didn't even realize he was still with us. You know, that generation now, they're becoming so far and few between that
Yeah, he's got
man,
to be the last, right? I mean, we had Jerry Lee, what, about a year or so ago, and I think he was the last, big name. And now you
I
had
can't
Duane
think of
Eddy
any
and
others.
now Carl Perkins, all those guys have passed. So, yeah, like you said, he was that guy that bam, 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 bam. He had that twang, man. He's that guy that brought that to music, man, to rock and roll at the time. And like I said, in the fabric of rock and roll, there's many threads, and he was kind of the guy that kind of told them what thread to use, man. Kind of, so he was
Yeah, yeah,
he was there at the outgo, man.
pretty
So,
much inducted into
uh,
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '94. Launched his career in '58. So 2 years after I was born, he started kicking it, man.
yeah.
Wow, that's a long,
Yeah, a
long
lot of people,
time.
John Fogerty and a lot of other people, and kind of dub him the first guitar hero, the first guitar god, So, yeah, he was that guy. And, he's the most commercially successful instrumentalist.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's probably one of those guys like the Venture. They just put out like, I don't know,
Oh,
140 instrumental
they were
albums or
the
whatever.
best. They were
The
the
year band.
best.
Dude, have you seen?
Oh,
Speaking of that,
yeah,
Buckethead.
sure, sure.
That dude's put out like 542 albums, man. It's all instrumental. Was he just like wake up and just do an album, a week or whatever? 540. But anyway, yeah.
Oh,
So he's made a lot of sold a lot of instrumental albums and a lot of stuff you've heard. Any of that 50s, like I said, any of that twang 50 stuff.
yeah.
That's
Well,
probably him.
he
So
went top 40 15 times on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold more than 100 million records worldwide.
wow,
There
that's
you go.
incredible.
That says it all right there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Wow. So yeah, our heroes are gone now, but we've got the memory, we've got the recordings, and in most part we've got the videos too. So
It's got my best of Duane Eddy there. You see in the
oh
glare, but
yes, there it
yeah.
is.
Yeah, Ghost Riders in the Sky, Rebel Rouser, Peter Gunn, the theme from Peter Gunn.
Oh
He was
yeah.
that guy. So,
Peaked
oh
at
yeah,
number 27 on the US charts in '60. Yeah, his debut album, Have Twangy Guitar Will Travel. That's right. That's the
yeah,
name of his album. Good for him.
yeah, good
Yeah,
read.
well, he's up there with the legends, geez. That's what sucks, every seems like every week we're losing another legend. Yeah, it is what it is, but that's what makes us geezers, brother. We just suck it up and move on. Ah, here we go. Here's an interesting story. This goofball, the guy named Frank Turner, there he is right there. What he did was he broke the world record for the most shows played in 24 hours. What he says, he's proud, tired, grateful, long live independent music. Yeah, yeah. So what he did is he successfully played in 15 independent shows in 15 different towns inside of 24 hours. What a goofball. I don't know why, I guess, is that I wonder if goes in the Guinness Book of Records,
Oh
eh?
yeah, yeah,
But,
it's Guinness Book of World Record.
oh, that's great.
It's for charity. It's for Music Venue Trust. So it's for all independent venues. It was all independent venues to independent promoters, and then all that's what he was promoting. It was all through that. So he's done
Oh,
something like this before, like in 2009. He did a similar thing, but not it wasn't like sanctioned, and so they had different parameters for it. So it had to be in a different town, and it
right.
had to be what was it? The show had to be at least 15 minutes long. Each show had to be at least 15 minutes long, and had to have at least 25 people in the audience. So that was the parameters for it to count as a proper show. So he started in Liverpool and ended up in the Southamptons, and
Ah,
yeah,
I wonder if they
15.
made it to Birmingham.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't
passed through
know.
Birmingham. I don't know. I'm
Oh
not real
God.
up on my geography over there a
Was
little
it,
bit,
did he
but
go through Piccadilly Circus? I don't
but
know.
I don't know, maybe. And so yeah, 15 shows in 15 towns in 24
Oh
hours. So
gosh. What a nut. Well,
hey,
what
if
the
it
hell? Yeah.
raises money for a good cause, hey,
But there
more
you
power to
go.
them.
He looks like a happy camper, so yeah, more power to him. If it's for a good cause. Yeah. Yeah. Here's a guy who probably doesn't have shit for money, but he's still doing charity for a
Yeah,
good
he's
cause.
fairly successful. I've heard him on the radio. He's kind of
But
one young
I would
hipster
hope
kind of
some of the
acts.
one percenters, I would hope, that's what bugs me out. It's fine to be a one percenter, but give back a lot if you can. So he's giving back. Good for him. 15 shows at 15. I don't know. In 24 hours, that wouldn't be that hard. Because if you get, you have to bring your PA, set up the PA, sound check, and then do 4 songs,
Yeah,
turn
right.
down the PA, and then go to the next town. Whereas I'm sure they had everything set up. He just cruises in and hops on stage, 4 songs, boom, hops off, next event. Hell, I'll do that. Kill me,
Yeah, like I
but
said, it's for charity, so I'm sure he had people helping him out that
right on,
added
man.
on to the crew. We probably had a couple crews kind of leapfrogging each other, kind of to the next venue, getting it set up. I don't know how they did it, but
Good for
yeah,
him.
good for them.
Doing it for charity. I can't complain. I won't complain. Okay, turning to the musical notes. We're finishing up the show on an interesting story here. Yeah, it's past the last few days. We've been a big fan of Alice Cooper. Love Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, Alice Cooper. Well, we also love his guitarist, Nita Strauss. And if you know music, rock music, Nita Strauss. Don't tell us you don't. Blonde, beautiful, severe shredder. Yeah. Well, she's had a boyfriend, Josh Milalta, who was also a drummer, and he's the drummer in various bands, and he's been a drummer in her solo band, and her boyfriend and her manager. Well, he finally said, okay, what am I, some kind of nut job? And he finally pulled out the ring and say, hey, oh, hey, Toots, yeah, let's tie the knot. So by golly, she tied the knot with her boyfriend, drummer, and manager. And not a real big deal. Of course, Alice Cooper was there, and Chuck Garrick, he's in Alice's band with her. And Disturbed singer Dave Draymond, I imagine he cried being a wedding. And you think he cried? I gotta imagine he cried. And his girlfriend, yeah, and the bassist for Disturbed, and his wife, and Demi Lovato. Well, yeah, because she
Yeah, that's right.
played
She
in
left.
Demi's band,
Yeah.
and her fiance, and so yeah, there's a few other people, but good for her. She's not getting any younger, so.
Yeah, David Draymond did a couple songs, so I'm sure that added to the occasion. I'm sure.
I imagine the second they saw him sit back on the stage on the drum riser, he sat back. They they knew the tears were coming.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
Imagine
geez.
him like being the best man and giving a toast and just just getting like everybody crying and talking
You
about his
guys are
depression.
the best.
And a few Februarys ago, I almost killed myself. Thank God I'm here now to enjoy this occasion.
Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't laugh, but I can't help it because
Yeah.
it's a sunny, beautiful day here in the beautiful Midwest. Things are looking good. Everybody's putting their gardens together. The farmers are in the field. Things are excellent. I can't wait for the summer, though. The funny thing is, we haven't got on our schedule this year out there in Tinley Park. We don't have a lot of early gigs. Most of our gigs start in July and August.
That's the
You
way it's
know,
been, man.
gonna
Yeah,
be
last couple years
damn.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Especially last year. Yeah. Everything was in August.
have to spend the earlier months going to some outdoor things around here and whatnot. But nonetheless, looking forward to it as always. And freaking A, Doc, we'll see what the crazy ass world of music news brings us this week, because really it's just a never-ending nutcase, one after another. So take us home there, brother.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all so much for checking in. And as we do this every week. So if it's your first time, please, please, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff, comment, but any button you can push to help the algorithms kind of swing our way, because YouTube doesn't help you out too much, those kind of
Oh
terms.
well,
But
they expect you to spend money to
yeah.
to promote it all, so Oh yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, their algorithms are really interesting. So yeah, give us a like, give us a
Yeah, we're
subscribe if
just
you
we're all
can.
dependent on word of mouth, and that's where we need you, good folks. So if you're watching the show regularly, please let somebody know. Share on your social media page, whatnot. So whatever you can do and feel like doing would be much appreciated. So other than that, we will be here next week with a whole nother batch of rock and roll stories from the world that we all love so much and just can't get enough of. So anyway, hope you all are too. We'll see you then. Have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.